I got cooked. Let's talk about it today in Car Chats with Robert. This is Robert Rivera with the Rivera Trading Group in association with Trend Trading Academy. And it finally did happen. It hadn't happened in a very long time. And it's very frustrating when it does happen because I'm thinking, okay, I'm an educator. I teach this stuff, and yet here I am, revenge trading, taking positions that I shouldn't be taking on a day that I'm tired, on a day that I came late to the market, and it cooked me. And it cooked me. It really hurts. It really hurts to have to admit that after an amazing streak, I think I had 2 losses in almost 3 months or something like that. Losing days, by that way, is what I mean, because I did incur losses along that way. But man, I got a doozy. I got a doozy. Let's talk about it here in a minute.
That right there wiped out the profits for the month, and it really hurt. It really hurt, especially because then afterwards, looking at the market, it was obvious that it was going to sell, or that it sold. Actually, not that it was going to sell, but that it sold. It just was refusing to go above the zone, and I kept trying to buy it. I kept trying to buy it and buy it, going up, and it kept coming down. Try to buy it again, going up, kept coming down. Finally, I gave up on it as it broke the bottom zone, and it's a good thing I gave up on it when it broke the bottom zone because it went like for 200 and some pips to the downside. This was affected by news related to the Brexit, and the European Union are fighting, and Boris Johnson is talking about perhaps breaking international law, and that really devalued GBP, because really the USD wasn't that strong. In fact, the economic numbers for GBP did not come out good, and yet it drove that thing down like crazy. In fact, very similar to then what happened last night, which I'll also show you here in just a moment. So what do you do when you incur a big loss like that that really leaves you reeling? You got to reassess. Obviously, you got to stop. You got to walk away. Got to reassess. What's most frustrating for me is the fact that I had not experienced this in a very long time. I'm talking a long time since I've had this kind of warped mindset, which is really what it is. It's a warped mindset that has you looking in one direction instead of seeing the market. This move right here, what it did last night, is exact same thing it did the night before, except that it dropped forever. I don't have that picture here. That thing dropped forever. But it's the same thing. It tried to break to the top and it couldn't. Give you that big, massive wick right there and then dropped. Now, as opposed to the night before, what I did here was I watched that bounce right there off of the trend line, and as it was going up, breaking that minor zone right there, I took it. I took the buy, I took that wick, and I closed it, and I took like 12 pips or something like that, and that was it. Part of what I do when I incur losses, and I haven't had to do this in a while, but part of what I do is stop, reassess, reevaluate, and then ease my way back into the market. What you don't want to do is snowball into it being worse and worse and worse, and making one bad day turn into a whole week and on and on. So I reassessed this and basically took a small position up. And by the way, win position, I mean a small position for me. It can be a big position to many. I took a standard lot all the way up on that move to the upside, which I usually catch that. I usually catch that. So I took it, and as it was touching the yellow line to the top, I went ahead and closed it. Now again, this is very similar to what happened the day before. Then it dropped, breaking the trend line, and on down it went. And that was really the move that was good to have taken last night, as it was wicking back down into the zone, taking the rejection of the zone down, breaking through the trend line. But even then, it just stopped right there. It didn't break my zones last night. In other words, nothing closed outside of my zones from last night. But I only took one trade. I just wanted to get my feet wet again after such a bad day the day before. I wanted to get my feet wet, and I wanted to take something that was nice and easy, which is what I did. And again, ease my way back into profit. That's what I got to do, basically, for the rest of the month. And it's humbling. It's humbling. It reminds you got to have very strong respect for the market. You have to remain humble, and you have to, in my case, not trade when I mean, I woke up and I sat at the desk. I was not ready. I was not ready. It's something that we always need to be paying attention to before we come to the market. We need to approach this like a mad tiger, like a pet tiger perhaps, but a mad one. You don't ever know when that tiger is going to bring out his claws and try to get at you. And so we have to remain vigilant. I don't know why I came up with that metaphor, but it worked. Okay, guys, let me shut this down. So after enduring a horrible night the night before, I decided to take it real easy. The next day, just put a small standard lot size. Took about 11 pips or so, and this is what I ended up with to close the week. Basically, I am in recoup mode, um, and I need to refocus back on my training and back on my discipline and back on respecting the markets for what they are, which is, again, a massive beast that eagerly can take your money if you become undisciplined at any point. Um, it's a hard lesson. It's a hard lesson to learn, a hard pill to swallow, because again, it goes right up against your pride. You pride yourself into being a disciplined trader. You pride yourself into thinking that you got this under control, and you got to always remember you can't control the market. Okay, you can't control the market. You gotta respect it. And in my case, again, what happened was I took big lot sizes. I was increasing my lot sizes. That's really part of it too. I forgot to mention that. I was increasing my lot sizes. I've been testing the $50 lot size, and that was quite a jump for me, I guess. I went from $20 lot size to $50 lot size in a jiffy, and I hadn't taken any losses. And so when I finally got the losses, it really hurt because I couldn't. I couldn't believe, I suppose, that I was losing. Again, that's arrogance and pride. So, again, confessional here, and hopefully this will help you guys.
So what are the lessons here? This is what I got from it. I was late to the market. The move had already happened. Now I'm trying to catch up, so it goes against me on a large lot size. Now I'm trying to revenge trade my way back into money because again, I could not accept that I had taken a loss on such a large lot size, and I just made it worse. So again, this is some things that I have shared before, and how dangerous it is, in fact, to be in the market when your mind is not right. And that was really it. My mindset was not right. Afterwards, I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing how this was an obvious sell. It rejected at the top, and it dropped. Now, had I taken the drop, I mean, it would have been thousands of dollars. But my mindset was not right. And again, how do you recuperate from something like that? Well, you devise a plan to, I guess, get back your profits that you lost, but you also check your mindset. In my case, I recognize that, okay, obviously, Robert, somewhere in there, you got arrogant, thinking that you were never going to lose, thinking that the market was going to go your way, thinking that perhaps you could jump from a $20 lot size to a $50 lot size, skipping the $30 and the $40 lot size along the way, because you had done well. Again, it's kind of how can I say? This is how I talked about it. It's like, well, I guess I'm glad I lost thousands now and not or 100,000s later. This kind of reminds me, you got to remain humble with the market. The market will show you who it is and who you are real quick. Okay, guys? Well, I hope you learned from my lesson. This is Robert Rivera with the Rivera Trading Group in association with Trading Academy. God bless you.